We just got a massive amount of information for Phase 2 of Season of Discovery, from new runes to quality of life spellbooks, new profession materials and recipes, and even an upcoming change in the rules that will ban GDKPs. This is all very exciting, but we have a lot to cover, so let's dive right into it and start off with the new Gnomeregan Raid. It's no surprise that the Phase 2 raid will be Gnomeregan. We were aware of this when Season of Discovery was announced. But today we get new information for this raid. The Gnomeregan Raid will be a 10-man level 40 raid, and there will be 6 bosses in this raid. 5 of those bosses we have already seen in other versions of the game, but their boss fights have been redesigned and add new challenges. And we will be seeing a brand new 6th boss in this raid. And as a reward for taking on this raid, you will be able to get your hands on over 100 new items, including 9 new epic gear pieces, new item sets, and more. I will just say that I personally feel like this domesticated attack chicken trinket could be one of the most in-demand items for this raid, as it seems like it was meant to be a counter to the gnomish battle chicken that is only available to players who chose the gnome race and engineering profession. But to get your hands on any of this new gear, you will need to actually complete this raid, as Blizzard has decided to ban GDKPs. I'm not really sure how they plan to enforce this, but it is a step in the right direction. Now, the Gnomeregan Raid will be available right away on day 1, which will be February 8th, but your first 2 lockouts will be weekly lockouts. Then on February 20th, that will be changed to a 3-day lockout schedule like what we have with the BFD Raid. Moving on to the PvP event, just a few days ago I posted a video where I went over some leaked information for this event, and it seems like maybe just a tiny bit of it was true. So to quickly explain how this event will work, every 3 hours a blood moon will start in the Stranglethorn Vale zone. When this happens, STV will turn into a free-for-all war zone where you could even kill members of your own faction. Every kill that you get will give you a new currency that you can use to spend on new gear, which we will talk about later. This will be a free-for-all event, but they do say you will be able to group up for it, but there will be consequences. I'm not sure what they mean by that, but I would think this just means that your group would earn less of that new currency. The Blood Moon event will only last for 30 minutes, but if you don't want to participate in it, you can talk to an NPC that seems to appear inside of the Gurubashi arena to opt out of the event and stay safe from the PvP war. They also briefly mentioned a world boss that will be roaming around the zone that they compare to the Fell Reaver in the Outlands. So just imagine this massive boss roaming around and taking out players who aren't expecting it. I wouldn't be surprised if this boss had some sort of unique reward for defeating it, because you know some players are going to try to take it down. Like I mentioned earlier, there will be new rewards for this event that you can purchase with that new currency that you will be earning. They didn't show many of the new rewards, but we do know we'll be getting 2 new mounts, a tiger and a raptor, and there will be new class specific items, but they only showed these 2 items. They do seem very good, so it will be worth it to participate in this new event. But all of the new rewards can be purchased from a vendor outside of the Gurubashi arena. Now, this doesn't mean the Ashenvale event will be taken out of the game, but there will be less people in Ashenvale for that event. So they are now changing the Ashenvale event to a 3-hour timer that will be 1 hour behind the STV event. So for example, if the STV event starts at noon, the Ashenvale event will start at 1 PM, allowing you to do both. We also got to see 2 new runes for each class, and the runes shown will go into your boot and belt slot, allowing you to mix them into your builds with other runes. So let's quickly go over all of the runes shown, but I'm sure there will be more than what we see. Druids will be getting Eclipse. Eclipse increases the critical strike chance of your next 2 Wrath abilities by 30%, and Wrath increases the critical strike chance of your next Starfire by 30%, with each effect stacking up to 4 times. Druids will also be getting King of the Jungle. This rune changes your Tiger's Fury by increasing all physical damage you deal by 15%, as well as instantly granting you 60 energy. And as a trade-off for this, Tiger's Fury now has a 30-second cooldown. Paladins will be getting the Sheath of Light and Guarded by the Light runes. Sheath of Light will cause damage dealt with your melee weapon to also increase your spell power, and it will cause your critical heals to apply an additional heal over time on the target. Guarded by the Light will cause your melee weapons to restore mana over time, but the amount healed by Flash of Light, Holy Light, and Holy Shock will be reduced by half. Hunters will be getting Melee Specialist and Trap Launcher. Melee Specialist is a passive ability which will reduce the cooldown on Raptor Strike, cause it to trigger instantly, and each usage of Raptor Strike has a chance not to trigger its cooldown. This rune will also remove the cooldown on Mongoose Bite. Trap Launcher allows you to place traps at any location within 40 yards and allows you to place traps while in combat. Additionally, your fire-based and frost-based traps will have separate shared cooldowns. Warriors will be getting Rally Cry and Blood Surge. Rally and Cry is a defensive ability which can be activated to increase the health of all your party and raid members within 40 yards, and Blood Surge gives some of your abilities a chance to make your next slam instant and cost no rage. Rogues will be getting Shuriken Toss and Master of Subtlety. Shuriken Toss allows you to throw a shuriken at your enemy, dealing damage to your target and up to 4 additional nearby targets. Master of Subtlety causes attacks made while in stealth and for a short time after exiting stealth to cause additional damage. Priests will be getting Mind Spike and Pain Suppression. Mind Spike lets you blast your target with Shadow Frost damage and apply a debuff which increases the critical strike chance of your next Mind Blast on that target, and that debuff can stack up to 3 times. Pain Suppression can be cast on a friendly target to significantly reduce their damage taken and increase their resistance to dispel mechanics for a short time. Warlocks will be getting Invocation and Dance of the Wicked. With Invocation, when you refresh some of your damage over time effects, while they have less than 6 seconds remaining, instant damage will be dealt to your target equal to 1 tick of that spell's periodic damage. And Dance of the Wicked will trigger a buff which increases you and your pet's dodge chance anytime either of you deal a critical strike to an enemy. You will also gain 2% of your maximum mana when this occurs. Mages will be getting Missile Barrage and Chronostatic Preservation. Missile Barrage gives your Arcane Blast, Fireball, and Frostbolt spells a chance to reduce the channel duration of your next Arcane Missile spell by half. It will also reduce its mana cost to 0 and cause missiles to fire every half a second. Chronostatic Preservation allows you to store some of your Arcane Fire and Frost energy for later use. You can hold this energy for a short time before it combusts and expires, and when this happens, that energy will heal a friendly target. And finally, Shamans have Maelstrom Weapon, Spirit of the Alpha, and Two-Handed Mastery. Maelstrom Weapon causes damage dealt with melee attacks to have a chance to reduce the cast time of your next Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Lesser Healing Wave, Chain Heal, or Lava Burst spell by 20%, and the cast time reduction can stack up to 5 times. Spirit of the Alpha is almost the opposite of Blessing of Salvation, and casts a 30-minute buff on a friendly target to increase the amount of threat that they generate. And with Two-Handed Mastery, every time you strike an enemy with a two-handed weapon, you will gain 30% attack speed with that weapon for 10 seconds. And the last big update was about professions. The crafted epic items from Phase 1 seems to be a big success, as Blizzard is adding a new questline in Phase 2 for new epic helmets. They only showed us these helmets here, but there could be more on release. On top of this, we will be getting 20 brand new crafting recipes across all of the production professions, and new materials will be added to the game that players can buy, sell, or trade with each other. It is really great to see new things coming to professions, and I'm sure it will be fun to hunt down all of these new materials. Now let's quickly touch on some of the smaller things. Enemies in 5-man dungeons will now drop spellbooks. These spellbooks can be used to learn quality of life spells, and unlike runes they can be used at any time like a normal spell. Matchmaking in PvP will also see a big change. Groups of 5 or less will now be matched with other groups of 5 or less, and groups of 6 or more will now be matched with other groups of 6 or more. Unless there are long queue times, then the game will try to fill matches with anyone that it can find regardless of group size. So hopefully this will solve the issues that some players are having with pre-made teams in PvP. And finally, we will be seeing an increase to experience when completing the BFD raid above level 25, and waylaid supply boxes will now give you more experience when you turn them in. If you are below level 25, there will also be a 50% experience buff that will help you get to level 25 and catch up to your friends a lot faster. So it is a great time to start playing if you haven't started already. And that is pretty much everything that was shown to us about Phase 2 today. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos just like this one, please consider subscribing to this channel. I will be posting a lot of content for all of the new things in Phase 2, and you won't want to miss it. But anyways, I hope you liked this video and thank you for watching.